Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, I'm gonna trust that it's good because I hit the go live button. Let's go. Okay. Um. Okay. So, guys, thank you very much for the last hour of the VIP Q&A. Let's get into the material. My other tablet's not working either, so we're gonna type this live on a Google Doc. We're gonna wing it. And first thing I want to share with you guys is the point of this masterclass is to get you comfortable on the entire drum set and actually feeling like you belong there and you can play stuff around without it feeling awkward. Okay. So we're going to talk a lot about ergonomics. We're going to talk a lot about what technique to use where and how to think through analyzing those things so you can practice the right stuff and you can play what you actually want to play and feel good playing it, right? So because my tablet's not working, we are going to do this extremely live. Maybe even, I think I can share my screen. Yeah, okay. We'll make this happen. So we're going to, because my tablet's not working, we're going to do a Google Doc, and I'm just going to type there to give you guys some information, and you guys will get this afterwards. So let's see. I'll share my screen and start typing. So we're going to cover, I think you guys can see this, which is good. So we're going to cover the techniques that you're going to need around the whole drum set. We're going to talk about some patterns that make it very useful, and we're going to talk about like how to like think about orchestration in a way where it all connects, right? So first things first that we're going to talk about, we're going to be talking about different grips. Okay, so the 4 grips most people are going to be talking about are German grip, American grip, French grip, traditional grip. We're skipping traditional grip because I don't teach it. My other teachers do. So we're going to be talking French, American, German. So let me just write this down. German, French, American. Going to give you guys some quick overviews of all this stuff. So who here can show me what German grip looks like? Who's got that? Oh, yeah, it looks good. Okay, yes. And then, okay, what? Who here can show me French grip? What do we got? Good, good, good. Looking excellent, everyone. Pinky's on. Good, good, good. Okay, and then American. Where's American grip for you guys? Good, good, good. Okay, so looking great. German grip goes way back, right? German grip goes way back to like when the drums were like slung over people's shoulders on the side, and it's still useful today, but maybe not as universally useful, because German grip is really good for doing this rotation of the wrist right here, whereas it works for the other wrist strokes, but not the American grip, which can just be a very tiny turn, works especially well where you can be really comfortable moving your wrists, and it's basically this motion all around, and you're in good shape with American grip. French grip, on the other hand, there's some special use cases I'm going to show you guys, but it's besides those special cases, it's primarily about the fingers. And that being the smallest muscle group, it means you can play with the fingers really fast, right? Now you can use the fingers in the other grips, but French grip is usually the one where you can play multiple finger strokes and have it be straight up and down and feel like it's not going to get away from you. Even myself personally, when I do finger strokes in like a German grip position, it can easily kind of like start to go diagonal and out of control. I actually have to, you'll see marching drummers do this, have to close the gap if I'm even going to do it. Make sure to stay loose. And then it's more doable, but in my opinion, not ideal. So repeated finger strokes, French grip. repeated wrist strokes, American grip. French grip, not so great for wrist movement. If you guys have your hand like this and you move your wrist up and down, it doesn't feel right. A little's fine, but like you do a lot and you could hurt yourself if you do that hard. So for French grip, you might even combine the fingers with your arm going up and down. And that's a very common thing you'll see jazz drummers practicing to get a lot of rebound and a lot of rebound coming off of the ride cymbal. Way back, you're just getting that feel, right? And it's the fingers going like this, but it's also letting the rebound really come off and using your whole arm. So those are our three main grips that you want to be like aware of and experimenting with both hands. But the main thing I want to share with you guys is when to apply what around the kit. So I'm going to try to move kind of fast because I think I have a lot that I want to share with you guys. So let's see here. The next thing that we're going to talk about is adapting your grip depending on where you are. Okay. So when you're choosing what grip to play with what hand on what drum, you have to consider a bunch of different things. You need to consider, and let me actually put this on the Google Doc as well. So let's see here. We're going to be adapting our grip. And then you need to consider things such as, this is all about like what grip you use, where on the drum, depending on the pattern and the bar you're in, the musical situation, the dynamics you need, right? So one question you're going to have to ask yourself is rebound or no rebound, right? You're also going to have to ask yourself about sonic considerations, so articulation. There's a lot going on here, and more that we're going to get to. And also literally like location of one drum or another. So the first things first, if you don't have rebound, most of the time you're not going to use French grip. Most of the time. There's an exception I'm going to share a little bit later. German and American, yes. With rebound, all three. Okay. The reason for that, by the way, is
Hey Dimitri, I
hey.
don't think you're sharing the screen on the live channel.
Oh no, sharing screen is not working on the live channel, guys. I'm so sorry. I just saw that. Okay, so we're not gonna have any visual aid in that case, guys. We're just gonna do it without writing anything whatsoever. Too bad I don't have a giant whiteboard. Okay, no worries. Okay, so adapting your grip. Let's say rebound, right? You can, if you have rebound, like a ride cymbal or a hi-hat or a high tune snare, you can use all three, and you're good. You can use German, you can use American, you can use French grip, you can take advantage of the rebound. If you don't have rebound, for instance, if I'm going to play on this floor tom, then you need to pick the stick up yourself, which means closed fingers, and then if your fingers are closed, it goes up wherever your hand goes, wherever your wrist points, the stick points. So you have to do the work of picking up the stick. If you're going to do doubles on a low floor tom, you have to lift it up yourself. Every stroke. As for that reason, French grip, it's not too useful if you're doing finger strokes, because French grip really relies on the rebound. I mean, I could twist it. If you try it yourself, you'll see it's not very effective. It's kind of whack. I mean, could I even? Don't recommend it. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Instead, I'm going to be primarily in American grip or some sort of wrist stroke thing. Okay. As opposed to, let me just check that everything's cool with the live stream. Okay, I think we're good. As opposed to, guys, with rebound, like with the snare drum, I can do all sorts of stuff. I can go into French, do some finger stuff. I can do the open close thing, because open close relies on rebound. Versus without rebound, I can do it, but there's not much rebound. See, that's how much rebound I got. Something over here, very little here. I can kind of do open close, but it's not perfectly even. Does it make sense? It's okay. But that's more even because I'm doing all wrist strokes. So you also have to think about, so that's rebound or no rebound. But also you need to think about, guys, how you are, where you're positioned on the kit and where your drums are relative to your body. For instance, French grip becomes very comfortable playing my ride slightly to the right because I can just turn my hand over and it's right there. It's kind of like shaking someone's hands, right? But we have a special case, in my opinion, when you go to play the bell, because the bell has that slope to it, if you're playing French grip, well, you're playing French grip on a surface that's not flat. You're playing French grip on a surface that's angled. So here's the ride, but the bell of the ride is kind of like that. And so you try to play French grip, and it starts to glance off. It's in my opinion, it's pretty tricky. Like I'll mess with it a little bit when I have to, but generally, I'm gonna switch right away when I'm playing the bell. So I'll be French for a lot of ride work. And if I'm gonna go to the bell, maybe I'll play French for a note or two, but it feels like it gets away from me, so I'll be switching very quickly to like American grip or so, and fit some finger stuff there, open close stuff there. You can even use Medea. You can even use the shank tip idea, down up thing, up down up, right? You can use that on the bell. See that? As opposed to two wrist strokes. Especially like, check this out, like a shuffle of some sort. It feels very awkward. It feels really awkward. But if I do the down up thing on the ride, I can kind of glance, hit the bell, and then over here, the bell. That starts to feel like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm getting the in-between stuff, versus if it's all wrist, or that's actually forearm. But either way, it feels like a lot of work to do that, but the down-up thing makes it efficient. So there's all these little tiny considerations going on with every drum, and it takes a lot of exploration. I kind of want to like give you a preview of the stuff that you like can find to be more comfortable for you. But you do have to experiment with this yourself, right? So the next thing is the floor tom, okay? The floor tom, if I am like centered here, I'm facing my snare drum, I'm playing grooves, and then I want to come over here. Well, I can rotate my whole body, and then I'm in American and German grip with both hands. And that's useful. And you can do that, and you will be doing that. I have other floor toms, maybe I gotta go over. It starts to get a little twisty and awkward. So if you just need a couple of notes, then all you gotta do is this. So what I'm doing here is, instead of moving my whole like arm over, playing wrist strokes of some sort, it's kind of French grip. kind of, because I don't know if there's any official, like, everybody agrees on this name for it. But I end up in French grip to hit it, but it's a wrist rotation. Okay, where is my pad? So glancing over like that, right? So you can actually do that between two different surfaces, right? And you're twisting, all right? That's something you can practice as literally on its own, and you could do instead of that. It feels like a lot that I have to do with my entire shoulder and arm to do American grip all the time. Versus, just look it over. Look how little my hand in this case has to move a lot less. Jeremy brought up the technique Justin Scott talked about in that other drum hub workshop. I believe, yeah, like opening a doorknob. Yeah, exactly. That is 100% right. So, so it feels like you're turning this way. That's called a radius ulnar rotation. So that's very useful. You can do multiple hits, totally fine. And what I'm doing also, guys, is they are wrist strokes without rebound, which means if my fingers were open, it would fall all over the place. And then I'd tense up and I'd injure myself if I did that for years. So my back fingers are closed, so it's against my palm. I'm not squeezing tight. It's gently closed. Index finger is that guide. And then it's not going to go anywhere, right? So then I can... Okay, so I want to keep just giving you examples for a moment here, like where you might switch between different things. So we have rebound as no rebound as a consideration. We have like the physical location. We also have like sonic consideration. What articulation do you want? Okay. For instance, French grip with finger rebound is going to be something you're going to pretty much find useful only if you're using the tip of the stick, not so much the edge, because it doesn't bounce, right? So if I try to use this here on the edge of the hi-hat, it's kind of like really inefficient and going to be sloppy. But if I have rebound by playing on the top, then I can use that. So if I want to play on the edge of the hi-hat, French grip's out. It ain't gonna happen, right? But if I want to play it on the top, it's an option, and therefore it becomes a sonic consideration, among other things. So you can play the top, you can play with the tip of the stick with any of those grips. Right? We got French grip, we got open, closed, we got wrist strokes, all that different stuff. They're all available to you. They might have slightly different sounds and feels and dynamic slopes to them depending on what you're doing. So I find that it's really worth exploring them all for the hi-hat in particular, and you can get different flavors of the same groove by changing what technique you use and your dynamics accordingly. So if I'm playing so right now it's down up on the hi-hat, so I'm hitting edge, top, but French grip. And then I can play the same. I can play the same beat, but like vary the dynamics and maybe like where I'm hitting, when I'm hitting the edge. Is this making sense so far, guys? Is this helping? I wish I could be writing that document, but apparently the screen sharing is just a blank screen for everyone. Okay, let me stop for a second. Any questions about this so far that like I can help make sure that we're taken care of? Let me check the YouTube chat. Okay, no, we're cool. Okay. Next thing. I'll come back and check for questions. The next thing, guys, is... Let me check my notes that I can't share with you. Okay. Forgot a very important one. Rim shots. Right? You can't really French grip a rim shot. Maybe if it's on the side, you could do that version. I don't know. Like you could, but maybe not the greatest idea. But for that reason, you might be needing to switch from French if you're doing something special to American and molar technique for a rim shot, right? Okay, that's that. The other thing I want to share with you guys is like you need to think about your kick drum as well. Like you have different options there. Because share screen isn't working, I am not going to show you videos like I was planning on for foot technique. But you know, you have in my tool belt are heel down, heel up, or the slide technique, and those are my three main ways to play the kick drum. There's other variations, like heel up has a couple different ways of what I do with my ankle and how I rest my heel in between strokes. If I'm going fast, I'm going to be playing a lot of just quick ankle motions, for instance. But those all need to come into consideration when you're putting these things together. So I have a couple of patterns for you that are really important for you to use when you're learning to be comfortable on the whole kit. First one is singles. So we'll talk really quickly about two different groupings. Let's just talk 16th notes and triplets because it does affect how you might move around the kit. Actually, those are subdivisions. I did say groupings. They're two different things. If we're in 16th notes or groupings of fours of some sort, like you can start to think about what I want you guys to experiment with is, besides just something where you're just moving your whole body all around the kit kind of stuff, think about moving one hand around and what is the grip adaptation that hand should do to be comfortable, execute the sound and dynamic you want, and take into consideration like what that surface is or what that playing area is, right? So, for instance, and before I even get to the singles, then let's just talk about one hand. Let's say I'm here and I want to play the ride. Well, we got some options. I can move my whole arm and do that. It feels quite inefficient, to be honest. Or I could flick it, right? Same for the snare and floor tom. So that flick is really useful. I'm going to show you some ways to speed that up as well. If I want to play the crash, though, this also depends on your speed, because for the crashes, to get the let's call it conventionally agreed upon best sound from a crash, then I want to glance through it, and I probably want to use some molar technique to be fluid with it and play it kind of diagonally through the cymbal. if I'm going really fast, I don't have time for all that. So I might do the flick there as well, right? Because the flick's going to be way faster. The flick will be way faster. So all this comes into play, and just start to literally like choose something where you're playing one pattern and you have to get comfortable adapting your grip while you play that pattern, so it's all in time and you're ready for this when it comes up on a gig, right? So singles, flick it, right? Flick it, 2, 3, 4. Flick it, 2, 3, 4. American grip, 2, 3, 4. So that's more like arm slash wrist. I'm gonna use my arm to move up there, and then you see the whip, right? So that alone, and then do the same thing with your left hand. How would you even do that, for instance, if you were going to play your left hand on your floor tom, if you have a normal kit, and your floor tom's on your right? You got to cross over. And I wasn't even planning on having this be part of this class, but it is an important thing to learn to do, is do crossovers. And crossovers. Okay, so crossovers, we're gonna skip. So like, I don't want to derail everything, but it is it is absolutely like something as well that you should be thinking about. I think just come back to it later, and it's just a matter of figuring out those pathways where you don't like interrupt yourself. Where am I with this stuff? So we got our singles. Okay, so pattern wise, this can also what technique you use around the whole drum set also is affected by what pattern you choose to play. So there's a lot of these considerations that it takes exploration, like mastering the techniques, even just like on a pad or something is a prerequisite. In my view, that doesn't mean fast. Doesn't mean you're able to play them fast. It means you're able to do them really well slow. But if you want to play a double stroke roll, you have different options, and it will affect what technique you might use. Again, depending on the sound and depending on the surface, right? So doubles, if I have rebound available, me personally, I'm gonna use open close every day, right? So snare drum, if it's high, if it's not really tuned low, I'm gonna use that all the time for doubles. I'm gonna use it over here, and I'm gonna just make it so you guys can see that left hand, right? You'll see I use it for if I'm doing some paradiddly things. But also I'm going to use it also for, there are also diddles or doubles, but like even a drag really fast. So with rebound, I have that available to me. Not going to really do it over here, and not also like if I want to get that comfortable kind of flicking French grip radius ulnar rotation, not going to come into play because I need to be in this position to do it, right? So I can use it for doubles here, or paradiddle variations. Anything with a double is what I'm trying to say, right? So doubles works great there, but not if I'm doing this. So I probably, like, French grip is not going to be, and this is also like what I found comfortable for me. Doubles French grip and plus French grip, nah, right? as I try to get to that speed, I have to like the second one is quieter. It sounds choked. Do you guys hear that? It's kind of like it's not happening. But if I switch to this, what's the pattern? Right. So like, you see that going on. So all these things for me, the way I developed the ability to switch between them all was very 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 carefully, like figuring them out within a pattern, on one surface, exploring them around the kit, and finding out the hard way. Well, doubles don't work with French grip, right? They kind of sound a little meh. Or, yeah, if I need to switch to that French grip thing over here for a certain number of notes, for a certain type of pattern, but if I want to do something else, it doesn't make sense, right? I know we just got a little thing in the chat. Let's see. Dan asked about the open close being finger based technique. Yes, yes, yes. So, yeah, that's an interesting. That's a good observation. So the thing about the open close thing that I do is that the French grip version, it works totally different in your hand. I never found it to be stable enough or consistent sounding enough myself to work in a playing situation or a recording situation, because this is also just like, this is literally me and most people, besides one person in the world that I think can do it. I never could figure out how to get it even, so I could play repeated and have it actually. You see how it's like, right? I could never get it even in timing or in dynamics articulation. So it just feels totally different in your hand. The American grip thing works very easily because, yeah, you do have access to your fingers, right? Okay, so I hope that clears it up. I know, Delphine, I know you had a question. Do you want to unmute real quick, and we can make sure you're caught up? And well, I know Delphine's got to unmute from the other from the computer. Okay, let's see, guys. Josh said, I imagine ergonomic setup is crucial for this to work. Yes, that's really important thing to say as well, and point out, like, taking the time to explore these things. I'll go is super important. So, like, what I used to do is I would sit down at my drum set. I would take the entire thing apart, like completely apart. All I'd have was my throne and the drums, like, thrown at the other end of the room. And I would sit there, and I would ask myself, imagine there's no drums next to me. Like, okay, what's the most comfortable position for me to be in? And then we'll put the sticks in my hand. Then I'd ask, like, okay, where does the snare drum want to be? Like, if there's no snare drum in front of me at all, where do I want it to be? Like, to be as comfortable as possible. And then I'd go grab my snare drum, put it there, make some adjustments, raise it up, lower it, raise it, lower it, change the angle. I prefer, like, really as flat as I can get the snare drum. Move it a little further, a little closer, just little tiny adjustments. And then I'd do the same thing for my foot pedals. And I'd put my feet on the floor and be like, where do I want my feet to be to play the pedals? And then I'd move the pedal there, right? Like, I would have a blank slate so that it really is, I'm making the drum set as ergonomic as possible for myself. And I would do that step by step. So add the hi-hat, add the kick drum, and then play hi-hat, snare, kick drum for like 30 minutes and, like, just play with it, see what's comfortable with that. And then one at a time, add the, like, play in the air drum, and ask, like, where should that rack tom be? And then move the rack tom to that. Play air drums, you know what I mean? Figure out where the crash is, and then I'm jumping up to like adjust the settings on it, and then move it a little this way or that way, and all that sort of thing. Delphine, did you still have a question? I knew you got up or you had your hand raised. Okay, let's keep moving. Oh yeah.
Actually, I did not have a question. AI thought because if you move your hand, it thinks your hand is up, so that's what happened. But I didn't have a question. But I do find these techniques to be a bit difficult because I play traditional with my left hand, and it's like every time I see what you're doing and I try to do it, it's like I can't do it without being in the traditional grip hold. And I even like I had my snare drum tilted, so I even put it more evenly so I could try to do it.
Ah.
So it's a bit of a struggle.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, because for traditional grip, a lot of people who play traditional grip, even tilt their snare like away from their left hand, a little bit, right? So you might want to explore that as well, Delphine. So the snare is literally. If this was my snare, then literally tilted away a little hair, and you'll see like you'll see some drummers do it. Keith Carlett comes to mind in terms of modern drummers. Definitely a lot of jazz drummers would do it, but of course because that comes from marching when it used to be slung over to one side, and so it was angled like that, and it made a lot of sense. You had to play traditional grip in order to hit that because this was the other option, right? So
Yep.
So that angle away might make things more comfortable for you, Delphine. And then as far as figuring out the other finger stuff, like I kind of said this before, like that is not my domain. Our other teachers can help you, but like that's something that like I prefer to defer to the traditional grip experts on. Ron, we'll take one more question and then we're gonna have more Q&A at the end for other questions, guys, so I can make sure to get through all this for you. But go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you could do, when you were doing those double strokes, could you do that slower because it's going so fast I can't see what you're doing.
Yes, absolutely.
So is there you're not doing triplets, you're just doing on one hand da 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 da.
So you're talking about the double stroke roll, you said? The roll? Yeah.
You were playing like on the cymbal and everything.
Oh, that thing. Oh yeah. This guy? So that is actually it's all triplets.
Pattern.
And
triplets.
it's not only all triplets, but it's in the Triad Matrix video. For those of you that know the 3-note hack video, where I'm like, here's all the 3-note combinations. It's all in there, right? And that's kind of how I did it thinking in terms of groupings of 3 and 6 and 9. Here I was triplets, right? So
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Each hit with every time you hit, like this snare drum or whatever, you're only hitting it twice at a time. That's the double stroke.
Well, mostly I'm on the ride and hi-hat. So and then I'm just hitting the rim first, the snare for the rim shots. So you know what? My arm's kind of in the way, right? So let me do this for you. So that is exactly the type of thing that like this class is for, talking about how to move efficiently. So I'm doing that here as well. But yes, that is like actually like 3-note groupings. That's the first 3 notes. Kick, right, right. And then the next 3 notes is left, left, right. Left, right, right. And then is left, left, kick. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the next 3 notes. I'm not going to try to transcribe the whole thing, but it's mostly left, left, right stuff. There's a few other things in there, but it's mostly that sort of thing. So, yes, even that thing is a good example of like doubles going on here, doubles going on here. Let's see what I'm doing. I have to do it again to even know what I'm doing because it's just happening for me. So you see how I'm here and then little. It's kind of a there's a double and then I'm whipping. So even that's a thing. That's a kind of hybrid thing that wasn't necessarily I was planning on showing you guys, but it does make sense to show you guys. Open, close, whip. And it's very miniaturized with the whip for the accent. See that? So this is another good one. If you have, for those of you guys with me that are working on the open close stuff, that are doing it really well, if you're starting to have that together, then you can open closed whip. And actually, what I'll show you guys before we get to like how to. All that sort of thing. Going back to technique adaptation within patterns, a paradiddle diddle is a really good example of how you can practice this. So I've been showing you guys, like with your paradiddles, you've got like you could use molar for the whip, molar for the accent is what I meant to say. Molar whip for the accent, tap and I'm lifting molar-ish, right? And then open closed, and then left side, got the molar whip. Then we're tapping and lifting, open, close to the left. Paradiddle diddles are a bit different. So we have right, and I'm using the molar. Right, left, tap. Right, right, left, left. And so I don't even have to think about it. I'm just open and closing for the two doubles. But the paradiddle diddles are a little bit different. So I'm using this whip, tapping, open, close, open, close. Now, if you want to play this stuff fast, and this goes for around the kit as well, you need to prepare for your accents or prepare for your orchestration. And so for a paradiddle diddle specifically, the first step is to think like lift up while the other hand's doing a double, right? So do it stiffly just to illustrate it. Right, left, right, right, left, left. During the left, left, my hand's raising up, right? Right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, lift the right hand. But the next step to doing that is to actually lift up kind of even before the other hand's doing a double. It's like as soon as the hand that's playing is done and the next note with that hand is going to be an accent, it can start to lift up. So, like with the paradiddles that I've showed you guys, it's right, left, and lift. Then right, right. Or for these paradiddle diddles, right, left, right, right, left, left. But not like that. That's going to be a little weird. Right, left, right, right. And then you're playing like this. Not the way to go. But the way I actually would do a paradiddle diddle is, well, I'll show you a little faster and then slow it back down. So what I'm doing here is as I'm doing the double, I'm lifting the elbow for the next molar whip. See that? So I'm not doing right, left, right, right, left, left, and I'm lifting afterwards. Right, left, right, right, left, left, lifting at that step. I'm actually doing right, left, right, right. I'm up there, ready for the next one. And that's kind of like a crucial step to playing those fast and fluidly. You've probably seen a lot of drummers that look like that when they're doing it. So just ride and snare, same pattern, just for demonstration's sake. And I'll exaggerate the left, the arm a little bit for you because, like, really, when I'm here on the kit, my instinct is instantly just here, not elbow. But I'll do the elbow as well. So see how I'm doing it's almost like I'm doing open close while I'm doing this. You see that? Oh, the pad is in my way. So it's actually the open close thing. But guess what I'm doing in this case? I'm not bringing my wrist back up. So you're gonna find, like, exploring these things and figuring out, like, what pattern needs what in terms of these sequences pays off so much in your ability to execute it cleanly, comfortably, confidently, and quickly, right? So this brings me back to the open close whip, because that's what's happening here. Open close whip. But instead of the paradiddle timing, which is whip, left, open, close, and then there's a pause for the left before the whip again, you can do them all in sequence. And it's really, really useful. I use it with my left hand a lot with a rim shot. So it's a very small, like, wrist whip, right? And the way I'm going to do that is, like, into a backbeat, like imagine like a double stroke into a backbeat, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, like that. So 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Let's see here. Or triplets. Let's show you triplets first. That kind of thing, right? And it just pays off to do it that slow. Not get too lost with that one thing. Let me just double check that I have more that I want to share with you guys. Gosh, not being able to put this on screen is unfortunate, but the next thing, real quick, guys, we're gonna roll through some stuff, is gonna be substitution. So who here knows what substitution is? Probably have a couple people, but
when you change one drum for the other instead.
Absolutely. You Getty, you are very far along for having a drum set a week and a half. This is
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
This is awesome. Okay, so substitution, yes, changing one from drum from the other, but specifically, typically the first thing we talk about when we talk about substitution is we have a hand pattern, and then we substitute one of those notes with our hands for a note with our foot, usually a kick drum. So instead of right left, you might do right left, kick, right left, right kick, and then you have a new pattern, right? Or you might do doubles instead of right, left, right, kick. Then you have a new pattern to work on, and then you think about those techniques. So right, kick. Left, kick. You notice how like wrist only instead of like trying to do that or bounce it, right? So substitution in a nutshell is like take a pattern you know and add some kick drums. So I want to give you a couple quick examples that you'll get a lot of use out of. Take a paradiddle diddle. And instead of the two left hands at the end, do two kicks. So instead of right, left, left, it becomes right, left, kick. That kind of thing. That would be the one. Like that. Things like that, or just like you pick one, see if you like it, explore it, drill it. I have a list here, but like just for doubles, for instance, there's a lot of different variations you can start to do. So like I mentioned right, kick. And specifically to get that fast, I'm using that slide technique that I'm not going to show you right now. So I'm using the slide technique even when I'm doing it slow. So I'm doing right, middle, slide up. And if I'm on one surface, rebound surface, open, close, right? But not over here. Okay, so variations for this specifically. Now, if we're just sticking to right, kick, instead think hand, kick, and those two hands could be anything. It can be left, kick. It can be right, left, kick. It could be left, right, kick. That's left, right, kick. Am I forgetting any? No. Okay, so we've got four. Right, left, right. And so you can take those, you can mix and match, and come up with really cool patterns just right there. The examples I want to give you are, I'm going to do right, left, kick, and then left, right. And it kind of skips back and forth between the two drums. You do right, kick, left, kick. That sort of thing, etc. But what was I going to share with you guys? Okay, but this is a really cool one. You guys are gonna like this. Let's go back to the right. says that has to be one drum? Right? So what I'm doing there is I'm flicking from before, but I need to get over really fast to that snare drum. So I'm not gonna flick in an arc, flick in an arc. Doesn't work very well because that's a lot of distance to travel. Instead, I'm getting over there probably with the radius on the flick because I have space during the double kick. But to get over fast, I'm trying to get as direct as I possibly can without hitting a rim. And I don't actually. I can show you this way. I only have one camera angle. Definitely turning, but at a very low height. But I'm not doing this. I'm doing that. And you can do it both ways. You can go the other way. So snare to floor tom, for instance. So we call this a sweep. Alternate. So I'm doing floor, tom, snare, snare, tom. Okay, that's the sweeps, and it's like what you're doing at that point is you're figuring out like I've got these different options in terms of technique execution in front of me, and so what are the parameters that are gonna like require me to adjust those and adapt them depending on what drum I'm moving from, what drum I'm moving to, what speed I'm at, what the surface is like have in terms of rebound, all the parameters we're talking about. That flick is really useful, for instance, but I might have to do something else to move across different drums. And so I can keep going with all those, but it's kind of like up to you guys to like explore and figure out like what might you have to do, what might you want to do to like move between other things, because there's so many options. It really comes down to like you want to sit here and try to move like and figure out slowly what's comfortable in all these different combinations, you know. For instance, I have you can't see it, but I have a crash, a third crash way on my right over here. And it doesn't make sense. It's not efficient for me to do the molar thing. I just have it quite high. So getting over here and doing that is it's a lot. So I'm gonna flick over there a lot of the time, because I need to get over there quickly. So okay, next thing I want to share with you guys is like how to think about this stuff when you're working on your coordination, independence, and grooves. You know, actual musical application beyond some fills and chops. So you want to make sure, no matter what technique you're using, you can get it clean in like a grid coordination setting. So, for example, let's say I'm playing 16th notes in the hi-hat, the backbeat, and I'm working on my kick drum coordination. I'll play it real straight. So we got the checklist, and I'm going to use the rhythmic checklist with my foot. So I'm just like, this is not how I'd ever play this groove. I've never supposed to play wrist on the hi-hat. It sounds really stiff. But what I do is I run through the whole checklist. Two note combinations, E, 1 E, and so on. Okay, so I'm making sure very carefully, and I do this really slow, that the kick drum hitting the beater hitting the kick drum head and the hi-hat, the stick hitting the hi-hat are just like exactly at the same point. But where the fun begins is that's not a very good sounding hi-hat technique. I'm gonna do other stuff like the shank tip down up thing. And when I'm doing that, there's some work to do there, and it's very interesting to coordinate this with all those foot patterns. So if this is 1 E and well, I gotta get my kick drum perfectly aligned with 1 or E and for me when I first started, when I was like, that's probably something I should be able to do, putting the kick on the E while I went up was out of time. It flammed, right? 1 E and 2 E and 3 E. Oh, they weren't in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and I had to go like, like really think about that and watch it. So the down was easier, down, but the up was quite a bit harder. 1 E, getting that right, Okay, so that in itself, amazing in the practice. So you're going down, up, and then do the whole grid with your foot. So, Medea, I want you to do that, okay? So this is 1 E and a 1 E and I'll do 2 note combinations. And 2 E and 3 E, no flaming, and 4 E. I don't know where that cross stick was. Anyway, and then E and 1 E and 1 E and okay. So E and E and E and okay, but it gets even more crazy than that. If you're gonna play those 2 note combinations with your kick drum, using the slide technique, especially faster. So for the 2 note combinations, I'm pushing my foot forward. I've got that middle and then slide forward that I need to get in time with the down, up. Or if I'm doing the kick on the E and, so boom, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing middle slide up with my foot while I go up and down. Is that making sense to you guys? So the coordination totally changes because of that slide technique, and I got to get the slide technique in time with down up. So the same thing happens again. It's its own little challenge when you do like the open close stuff, right? Like this. And then the same deal happens working out my foot technique with a slide while doing that. So there's a lot of like you can make this fun if you challenge yourself to do it. It's not tedious, it's a challenge. And then not only do you need to get your kick on all those beats, 1 E and then the E's, right? So 1 E and 3 Not only do you need to get that like on the either the open or the closed without flaming, but then 2 note combinations with slide technique with your foot, but you're doing open close. sense to everybody? Okay. Same thing with your hands. So 1 E, 2 E, and 2 down up. I mean open close, sorry. And then watch this. Is anybody catching that? I'm playing down up while my other hand plays up down. So it's like this: down. Watch the left hand. Down up. Down up. So they do the opposite. And that's something that'll happen because you might have that going on 16th notes. And then you might want those that diddle happening, like on the E and would be the rhythm where it was the 2 doubles that starts with the down on the E. Like. And then I could be sliding my foot at the same time. Like it's crazy. There's stuff that I'm still like thinking through and being like, oh, that's like a little bit of a thing that I want to be able to play that, get it in the pocket, get it clean, and I need to line all that up. So that right there, I'm doing a boom, 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 boom. So I'm playing, we're trying to get my right hand out of the way for you guys. With the open closed, tap, open closed, and the foot's doing just a heel up note at first, like kick, middle slide. So slide technique for the double, because it's going to be fast. But that happens while I'm doing down, up, and this is going up, down. Ah, it's nuts, guys. That sort of thing, right? So there's all these little tiny like adventures when you come across a pattern where you're like, oh, I need to combine my techniques in a different order on a different drum that I didn't think about before that you can do so much with. And it becomes like a game to figure them out and then say like, well, okay, that's a little snippet that I need to do something different than I've done before. Let me isolate that, figure it out, systematize it. And that goes back to Dan, what you were asking before about how to systematize your practice. And how much do you spend on like working on like specific musical pattern you heard in the song versus like the more technical stuff? Well, something like that, I'm not sure I've heard it. I don't know what song that's in. I can promise it's in some grooves. It's also like when you have the dynamics of it dialed in, a really just a fantastic like little groove in itself. So you work on you just like go on adventures, finding a little thing you can't do, breaking it down to a component that you can then use to master it, and then turn that into its own little system of exercises so that it's useful in a lot of settings, right? Like that thing right there. When I'm doing kick plus open close with 2 doubles. Well, that's a new thing I could try as the rhythmic checklist, just the 2-note version, let's say, against a host of patterns or techniques, etc. So I could play quarters. And by the way, this is on the fly. I'm not sure I've practiced this before. But it's the type of thing where like once I go through and make sure it's all clean, I'm just going to kind of like automatically be better. And anytime that pattern comes up, I can do it. And even if the pattern doesn't come up, there's like a confidence in my brain's ability to coordinate everything together that makes like other more standard stuff that I go to play even better. Um, so we have doubles with the left hand and the kick. I'm using open close technique with my hand, slide technique with my foot, and then I'll play quarter notes. And I'm gonna play through the checklist, but just the 2 note combinations that are doubles. So like one and and I'm sliding even this slow, and obviously you see the left hand. And then 8 notes with the right hand. You following that, guys? That make sense? Am I making enough sense? um, let's see. So the point with that is like that. Then, if I worked on that and cleaned it up, could become part of my vocabulary. And if I want to say that, and like do something cool with it, like it's there. And especially if I systematize it, where it's like a thing where I could place it anywhere in the beat, and then what's really useful is you use kind of like some semblance of a groove ostinato, typically with like your riding hand and like a backbeat, and then you work this into like you have a little system of practicing whatever the thing is against that or something else musically applicable. Maybe if you're primarily playing a salsa band, you have a different ostinato, but then I might work that into like against a backbeat. So. And then, oh, that's different. That's useful right there. And all of a sudden, if I'm going to play it into the backbeat, well, I can't do the open close anymore. I'm going to do a little whip. So. And yeah, I've never ever heard that beat. But if I've cleaned it up, it means that there's like one less thing I can screw up. Okay, so everybody, let's see here. We are going to do. Let me see if I'm missing anything here that I want to make sure you guys don't miss. Okay, so. We're going to do Q&A, and as we're doing Q&A, I'm going to prep us to do a little giveaway. And before I do that, I'd love to share with you guys how we help drummers like nail this stuff. Is that cool? Can I show you guys what we do? Like, awesome. Okay, so some of you guys know, and like a bunch of you guys here are actually students of mine in the drum hum program. And so what happened for me was that actually in this room, well, COVID happened, and this room kind of shut down for a while. It was kind of scary, right? And so we couldn't use this recording studio anymore. But what I was doing besides working on the records and things was we would do these summer drum camps, and they were like the most fulfilling times like of my year. When we couldn't do them anymore, that was a big bummer. So, I wanted to figure out how to help drummers again without that. So 2 years ago, I started the drum hum program, and started to like put together like as many systems as I could to help drummers all over the world. And what we've done since has been like amazing, and like I'm so appreciative of you guys like for being here with me, and like it's been amazing seeing you guys grow on the drums. So for those of you guys that aren't a part of it, the Drum Hub program is basically an an online intensive program where you get one-on-one lessons with me and my team of some of the most amazing drummers in the world. Um, I can't share my screen to show you what this is like, so that's too bad. You get group workshops constantly. You get an online community where you are part of the family, and also are able to like submit questions and videos for feedback from me and my team at any time, and have me in your back pocket, which is like been so amazing because it means I can check up on you guys and you show me your progress, and then it's like I can help you like get it overnight, which is like my favorite thing. Um, in a nutshell, that's what we do in the Drum Hub, and it's been like amazing seeing like all your results. So I can't actually. I don't know if I can show you guys. I can't. Apparently, share screen's not working, so we're gonna skip that. But for those of you that are at all interested in joining us, we're only taking 4 more students right now. 4 more, and the thing is, anybody after those 4, we're pausing enrollment for a while, and then if we do accept you, but you're after the 4, then we're gonna have to start you in January to work with us, because we need to pause it. We want to make sure that like the group's small and we're helping everybody like as much as possible. So I'm putting in the chat the link to check it out, learn more, and apply. And Ron, if you're reading the chat, you're already in it, so you don't need to click the link. So for those of you that aren't in the Drum Hub, if you want to check it out and work with me more closely and work with us one-on-one, then you can click that link, learn about it, go apply, and then we're taking calls only the next 2 days, and only accepting 4 more students, and then we're closing it down for a while. And anybody that's applied that misses that, like, we'll have to move you to February. Anyway, so like I'm super stoked about how well you guys are doing, and like it's super like incredible seeing your progress. So and on that note, do we have anybody like here that's been doing it that wants to share their experience, or where did let's see here. Who do we got here? Who wants to raise? Who's got their hand raised? Stefan. It's good to see you, bud.
Hi.
You know, you were one of the first.
Yes, I was. So yeah, my time in the drum hub. That's my time.
Yeah.
It was really nice when I was first beginning, and I was able to work with Dimitri for those couple of months during it was summer, I believe.
Yeah.
It was a couple of months during the summer. It really was able to build a good foundation on the basics that I was able to continue working on. I've been continued to work on them for the past couple of years, and what I was able to learn really with the basics allows me to do stuff on my own a lot more efficiently now, and just the whole general mindset about learning new skills and patterns and stuff on the kit has been absolutely game changing, and that mindset on stuff with the kit has been also helping me with other stuff like totally unrelated to drums as well.
That's so awesome, man. You know what?
Yeah.
you saying that, and you've been showing me more recently some of the songs and parts you've been playing that are very complicated, and for that reason, I completely forgot like how new you were to drums 2 years ago. Like that's wild. I legit forgot because you're playing some crazy stuff now. That is so fantastic, man. You've really been doing great. I love to hear it, man. Thanks for sharing, Stefan. That really means a lot. So, oh, Getty, yeah, Getty, you've literally, I'm gonna put you on screen. Getty here. When did you join? Monday.
Yeah, Monday. Yeah. Monday was my first lesson.
Yeah, man, and you're really far ahead. Like I told you earlier, like it's crazy.
Thank you so much. Yeah. As you said earlier, I just have barely started. I've had my drum kit for. I'm starting on my second week now, with playing the drums, and I feel like my foundation is great. I'm really heavily working on my rebound strokes because that's the basis and fundamentals of how to play the drums, and I think I'm doing pretty well at that, thanks to your guidance and your teachings. And the class with Jonathan, one of your other teachers, was also really great, and I learned a lot from him as well. And I'm just really excited to keep going and delve into this more and more and more.
Man, I'm so stoked for you. You've been like crushing it, and I love how excited you are. Can you show us? Even just your rebound strokes are so clean. Like you have that really nice looking. Can we see those? Just give me like seriously, literally just that. Man, that grip is excellent. You're doing the leveling, guys. Have been playing for 2 weeks, and this is the stuff that really matters. That is, man, like ridiculously awesome. Like I'm so proud of you and like happy you're here. Like it means a lot. So yeah, keep putting in the work, man. Like it's gonna pay off so much.
Man. Sure, I'm super excited. Thank you so much.
Thanks for spending the time tonight with us too, man. Okay, guys. So like I said, I put the link in the chat, and we're just working with a couple more people, and then we're pausing enrollment for a while. And let's take some other questions because I know I covered a lot of stuff, and you guys probably have some questions on that that I want to make sure to do. And then after we take some questions, we will do some Q&A. This is Q&A. We will do some giveaways. I got some giveaways for you. Okay, so I'm gonna take some questions, both from YouTube and our Zoom chat. And guys, if you got some questions, hit me or raise your hand. And let's see what we can cover. Okay, so. Let's see here. DNS. Oh, I think these. Oh, Jeremy. I don't know if you're still here, but I see you asked about when you move semi fast with a paradiddle, you notice the right, left, and left, right single notes are definitely louder or more pronounced. That's an interesting question. Let me cover. So I'll cover Jeremy's real quick. I don't know if you're still here, but the right, left, and left, right. I think what you're saying, Jeremy, he was here for our last drum camp, by the way. I think what you're saying, Jeremy, is the right, left both get louder. Is that right? I'll read this again. Definitely louder. Okay, so right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. So the thing about that, if that's what's happening for you, first of all, don't despair because that is also a cool thing. Like, accenting both is a different option, and it sounds cool. I would also urge you to like be able to draw out only specific notes accented. That's the way we're taught, but it's not the only option. But if you want a lot of clarity and a lot of contrast, right, left, right, etc. Also, accent the other notes. Use the rhythmic checklist with a paradiddle to choose your accents. So accent the E, left, right, left. And that with a paradiddle, and I want you to hear this like slightly more like musically, which means I'm just going to orchestrate and see if it sounds cool. Paradiddle, okay, but I'll add the foot, and then I'll accent the E. or accent the and. Or accent the ah, which is the second of the doubles. And like that, right? That kind of thing. So they're all options. And you just take the time to develop and find like what's musically interesting, what sticks out to you as a phrase or rhythm or melody that like you can explore. And yeah, there's a lot there. Okay. Okay, so Genesis raised your hand next. So is that your name, Genesis? Hold on, we're still working on unmuting. Almost there.
Hello?
Yay! Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Alright,
It's good to
so
have you here.
thank you. Good to be here.
Is your name
so-
Genesis?
Yeah, Genesis.
Nice.
My name.
That is
I've only met one other person whose name was Genesis. So.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic, man. So, oh yeah, go ahead. What you got?
Alright, so I'm new here, and I just saw been following a couple of your videos, so I like how you teach, and I think I've been playing for maybe almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a backup drummer for my church. They asked if they needed one, and then I just like 2 years ago, okay, I hopped on, and then, but I feel like the past year, I just really hit a plateau. I'm just trying to teach myself lessons online, and it's kind of overwhelming. I don't know what I've been trying to work. I've been practicing every day, but I don't know what. There's so many like teachers teaching me like the fulcrum or just techniques that are different. So I'm just kind of, I don't know, choosing whatever. But I feel like I don't know. I hit a plateau and I don't know. I need some guidance. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm here. So I don't know, like do you have like a system that where it's easy to follow?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
okay.
We do we do a bunch of different things, but I think also like the thing to think of the first advice I'd give to you though, is, and were you here for the beginning of the class? I'm not sure you were here.
I was here, yeah.
Oh, okay. I kind of said this a couple times, like doing more with less, going deeper with fewer things, really pays off. You said something about the fulcrum. Did you use that word?
Yeah.
So like different fulcrum, like it sounds like maybe you're like getting different advice about how to like what grip to use and how to get the fulcrum right, or what kind of balance to do. Or...
Yeah. For example, I think from what I've been following, the fulcrum would be the thumb and the middle finger.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. But I think is that correct? Would that be?
I'm not gonna say incorrect or incorrect. Did I just say that twice? Middle finger and thumb is cool. Like, it's actually a way to get very loose with things. You need all your other fingers on there. But for instance, we might go off on some tangents here. What I teach students first is index and thumb. Other fingers go behind it, but that's not even the way I play. But it's a good starting point. So this is a good option. It looks like, let me see your grip, by the way. It looks pretty good. Move it. There you go. Okay. Looks pretty darn solid, man. The middle finger and thumb is totally an option, and we do actually. I do show my students that, and you're gonna find it opens up even more. And I find personally, it's like maybe a little too loose even for me, and I hold my sticks very loosely. So what I do is something in between, where it's not thumb and index. It's not thumb and index. It's not middle and thumb either. It's actually in between. That's what's comfortable for me. So thumb is, as you can see, in between the index and middle finger, and this is kind of the fulcrum. It's if I let go of my middle finger, it would go off. If I let go of my index, actually, it would kind of stay there. maybe that's kind of a middle finger and
Okay.
thumb fulcrum, but it's not thumb. Sorry, it's not the middle finger all the way up there at my thumb. The other thing
Okay.
about this, like, you have to find what works for your body and your hand, and so there's there are guidelines but not rules, especially for this stuff, because like what I've shown all the rest of you guys is like you might start here, but I show you like I actually go up a little bit, and then if you're in this general position, you might need to like make these little changes and then see what works for you. Like see how I'm moving my fingers around a little bit, and just finding
Yeah.
that, and then maybe like doing some notes, and then like looking and making a little adjustment or two, doing some more notes, and like paying attention to that and taking your time with it. So that alone like is worth just like taking your time. So it looks like just at a glance like you've got a nice comfortable grip going on. But then the question is like you kind of said I forget exactly how you said it. Like you're just kind of like overwhelmed with all the different options, right?
Hmm.
Um, what kind of drummer do you want to be?
Uh, Mostly I play gospel, but also rock.
Okay. Do you play any other instruments?
Just the drums.
Okay. And how long did you say you were playing for?
Almost 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So all right. Last question. Name me like who's your favorite drummer?
Um, I don't have one.
Ooh,
I
that's
don't have
cool.
a favorite.
Do you have what names come to mind?
Um,
Favorite or
what's his name?
bands?
Bands, Led Zeppelin.
Bonham.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bonham.
Um, uh, really, you're gonna get so much mileage out of focusing on singles more than anything, and developing relaxation and in your technique, molar technique, so you can like play strong, powerful like Bonham, but be relaxed and open, and then you get a more open sound. His sound is kind of more open as well. Um, I mean, his playing is bombastic, but like he's got that open sound. Um,
Mm.
for instance, yeah. So like singles, you're gonna get so much mileage out of just mastering your singles, but also like focusing on core techniques, like for example, molar techniques, so you can play accents relaxed and efficiently, so you can play strongly without and fast without tying yourself out. All those things really pay off. Um, and then just like things like having a simple coordination systems to work on grooves, and then as I kind of said earlier, and I kind of noted a couple of times here, like if you have like a grid system or like if you're familiar with my name for it, the rhythmic checklist, where you have like core cells of rhythms, and you make sure that you can filter patterns through that set of rhythms. You can play anything from like understanding like how to put something through that system, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah.
how much that helps, like because it's a like in talking for 5 minutes, like it's a wide um very broad subject to start to broach, but basically fundamentals and making sure you have them and you know them like the back of your hand, and you don't have to think about them anymore, pays off more than anything, you know.
Okay. Yeah, that helps. I, that's what I've been kind of doing, just doing more singles and all that. What you said. So at least I know I'm kind of on the right track,
Yeah,
and I just need to keep on working on it.
yeah. It's also like knowing what to look out for. Like you
Hmm.
want to be looking for consistency and control, and then after that, and by that I mean like you can hit the same note at the same volume, it sounds the same every single time on that drum,
Hmm.
and if you intend to hit it that way, that's how it comes out. And then you apply that to every pattern. You apply that to patterns. You apply that to singles, etc. And so that's consistency and control. And then you need to know how your muscle memory works, so that you know um, how to put the repetition in, so that
Hmm.
that becomes autopilot.
Okay.
That's what you're looking for. So like if you're struggling to get something more advanced, then the simpler things aren't autopilot any yet. that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Cool. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. That's the wisdom I can give for you, like, for now.
Okay.
So I hope that helps.
It does. Thank you.
Awesome, man. You got it. Love your name too. Okay. Let's see. We got more questions. So let me see. Dan asked the cost of the program. It varies depending on like our teachers' availability and what options we have, but there is information in the application form. So if you apply, then all the information's there. And John, you wrote a lot. I don't know if you have a question, John, but I'm reading it. So this is very nice of you to say. You said you've watched. It's confusing because you were talking about me. So if I say I've watched tons of. This is awesome, man. Thank you so much. Super cool. Okay, I'm gonna screenshot this because I want to remember this. It's very nice of you to say that. Okay, let me real quick, guys. We could take another question, but let me get this. Let me get our giveaway going. But to do that, I need to put everyone who's registered into a randomizer so we can do the raffle. So we're gonna give away my Rhythmic Freedom course and a one-on-one lesson with me as well. Oh, and looks like we have. Is that a question? No, that's not a question. Okay, sorry guys. Let's give me one sec. Okay, so we're gonna give away one of my courses and a lesson. So I have to set this up. So bear with me, guys. We're doing this live. One moment. Just like the sharing screen not working and the Wi-Fi not working. This also we have to maybe. No, I can do this now. One sec. All right. I'm exporting the list of everybody that registered. There we go. And then, thanks for waiting, guys. Do you have any more questions while everyone's hanging? Okay.
I got a question for you.
Oh, go for it, Getty.
So for your bass drum, do you tend to let to bury the beater, or do you rebound, let it rebound?
You asked this of Jonathan yesterday, didn't you?
I did. Yes, I did.
Which is awesome. Always off the head for me. Always.
Okay. And what do you find is the most relaxed position to allow for you to do that consistently?
Very good question. So this is a very interesting question also. And let me show you. In this case, I will show you let's see here. What I do is I play heel up, which is the confusing thing for some people. But I'll help solve this. Let's see. I think I have things plugged in too much to make this work. So I play heel up. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Heel. So this is a terrible angle, and I apologize. But I have other videos I'll show you, or show you live in one of our next classes. I play heel up, but then I don't press down the whole time, and I also don't just hover with my foot on the pedal in the air. That would be like beater's off, but I'm lifting my leg the whole time. It's really tiring. So I
Yeah.
play heel up, but whenever I want to rest, but whenever I'm not playing a note, I rest my heels down. Could you see that?
Yeah, I did.
So literally, play and then rest. And my last note, I'm playing heel up, so it's like the ball of my foot's activating the pedal, but my heel's actually going down at the same time. And then I'm just,
okay.
and then my leg is just resting, and the beater is off. Is not buried.
Okay.
So what it means is, and even if you have like a bass drum with pillows in it and it's like short sound, playing off the head, not bearing the beater, sounds better. And people think it doesn't, but those people aren't audio engineers or record producers like I am. It sounds better. if you
I'll take your word.
If you bury it, it chokes it, even if you have pillows in it and you miss out on some of that like fullness. So highly recommend you just start from day one. And like I said, that trick of like the heel coming down at the same time, kind of when you don't need to play multiple notes in a row, it means literally you're just resting right away, and so you're not like holding your foot up, your leg up, and getting tired fast. So that's a huge that is a really helpful trick, and we do have videos in the course, and because you haven't seen them because you just joined.
I'm
us.
not there yet.
Yeah. But I love where your head's at, I should say.
Thank you.
Okay, so.
Can I, sorry.
Hey.
I was going to ask a quick follow-up question on
Yes,
that one.
please do.
'Cause I typically don't vary the beater, but when it's a very, very, very fast beat and it's like da 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 da, there's really not that much time to put my foot down. So how do I kind of, maybe this is like a question for a class, but how do I relax my foot when there's not a chance to relax? It's just so.
Ooh, okay.
snappy.
Good question. And in order to answer that question, I'm gonna play so I see what I do, right? Because you were asking about some of those like you were asking like what's the bass and what's the kick, and I was like pretend it's all the kick and you'll. Okay. Like. That kind of thing, right? Okay, my first answer is like my leg's gonna get tired too. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm kind of doing a hybrid of like some sliding forward and like ankle-y stuff. It's not all leg. It's too fast for like whole leg going up and down. Like you'll see it going up and down a little bit. So like I try to get efficient with it by like sliding and like when you're playing notes that fast, I pull my foot down the pedal so that like a smaller movement that is like if my foot pulls down the pedal, then I can make a smaller movement to get a hit. Versus at the top of the pedal, like it's a lot more difficult. My foot's just in the air the whole time to do that. Right? And at that point, if you want to do it without killing yourself, that type of pattern, that's where you get double kick pedal. Right? I think that's the point where you get a double kick pedal. But I would be curious to find out what Alex thinks about that sort of thing. So like we can ask him because he's the double bass expert among our teachers. So okay, we have more questions. Let's keep going. Genesis, did you have another question? And let me just not pin myself so we can actually just see each other.
Oh, that was already answered. I think Getty asked about the bearing the beater.
Yes.
And that also, and I think I already know the answer, but I've been having trouble with my kick also. Like especially kind of the independence where you were playing earlier. Like I'm having, I guess, trouble with my kick and independence.
Okay, kick and independence. And what have you been doing to work on your independence?
I've been using, I think, one of your things I saw online, but
like
I know I've been doing this where I'm hitting this eighth note, then I'm doing like triplets,
Mm-hmm.
like one, two, three, and then right after triplets, I'm trying to do 16 notes
Okay.
after that, and then
Oh,
I'm just kind of
oh,
doing that. Yeah,
yes. Okay.
yeah, that one.
So that's good for like lining up, but it's not the full set of things you need for the independence, right? What you want for
Okay.
independence is you want the checklist. And like I will share my screen, so you have it. In fact, I'll just drop it in the chat real quick.
Okay.
Let me see here. Let me pull it up. Hold on. I have all these things available at a click or two away. Where is it? There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna drop this in the chat. It's just a quick screenshot. Actually, yeah. So that's the Google Drive link, and then what you're looking at is this list right here. What you want to do is, can you read 16th notes?
Yes.
Okay, what you want to do is you want to play quarters or eighths or 16ths on your hi-hat, and then your kick drum goes through and you make sure every single one of these is clean and really good. So every single one of these things is a separate little exercise until you master it, and then eventually you can do them all in sequence. Did you watch my YouTube video where I play the accents with my hands, and I play that against a foot ostinato?
I don't. No, I don't think so.
Okay. That video is titled "The Drum Pattern That Changed My Life," and so you should go watch that.
Okay.
And then that system in that video is a little bit different. It talks about accents and putting them against a foot pattern. You're going to do the opposite. You're going to do a hand pattern, like an eighth note groove, and then you're going to play these rhythms against it. And that is the system, and that's literally all you need. Well, that's the 16th note system. You need triplets too, but like that's an even smaller list.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Okay, we're gonna do this giveaway. I think there was one. Was there one more hand raised?
Yeah, I had one more question.
Go for it.
For the kick, when you do the sliding motion to do the fast notes, do you find yourself going left and right or front and
Straight.
back? 'Cause I find myself going front and back here.
I want you to send me a video in the community, like show me what you mean.
Okay.
Left to right or front to back? It's sliding forward towards the kick drum.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So like no lateral like side to side motion. I will see that every once in a while, and what like I've seen some people do this with their foot, and maybe it works for them, but I have a strong feeling like for most people that would like torque something and cause some injury. But I can't say for like 100% certainty. But yeah, we will.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, send me a video when you're ready to work on that. Okay, any more questions, or we'll do the giveaways? No more questions. Okay, let's do the giveaways. Here's the deal. Everyone that registered, we're gonna give away two things. One, my Rhythmic Freedom course, and then second winner, Rhythmic Freedom course and a one-on-one lesson with me. For those of you that are in the program, you already have the Rhythmic Freedom course. So if you win that one, you get a lesson as well. A bonus lesson. Okay, so let me. What I want to do is share my screen because I'm spinning a wheel of like almost 400 names, but I want to leave their email addresses anonymous, so we will not share all their email addresses. But I do have the first name, which is Sasha Earles or Sasha Earls. I don't know if Sasha's here or they're watching the other stream, so I'm gonna reach out to Sasha. That's winner number one, and then winner number two is, let's roll again. This second roll, we're gonna I'm gonna give the winner a one-on-one lesson as well. Here we go. I hope you guys are giving us a drum roll, by the way. And wait, this name's familiar. Oh my god. I don't know if he's watching, but John Lane, who's actually a professional drummer in here in Maryland, has won the second. He's won a lesson with me. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. I'm gonna talk to John, and if he doesn't want the lesson, then like we'll re-roll, and I'm gonna announce another winner for you guys. Okay. This has been a blast. We've gone for 3 hours. I forgot to take a break. After our first, I forgot to take a second break. Guys, thanks for chilling with me, and hope you guys got something out of playing the drums with all this. And I will see all of you in the next classes, in the next videos. Just reach out. I'm here to help. That's what I love doing. And yeah, you guys rock. Thanks everyone for being here. It's a good time. Okay. Thank you everyone, and good night. And I love you all.